finally, I will be getting. Let's get into the state of the podcast. Um, for those of you who have been following us for a while, we've been doing this. We've been doing this podcast for a good long while. Well, not a good long while. We've been doing it for a year, and we started off small with just the equipment that we had, mainly my equipment. But we've been seeing, some growth, and we recently for the main podcast, we upgrade the sound, with audio equipment, with mics and a mixer and headphones and the whole nine. And I'm just tickled pink with the quality that we've been able to impart with just with our just one like static view of us and just the microphones. In terms of audio quality, so much better. We've been able to cut down on the ambient noise, by a factor of 5 at least. I mean, every now and again you'll get the odd ambulance or the muscle car, ripping by. But in terms of the immediate ambient noise, I think has been a great help, and also just like kind of like the cutting down of each of us like talking over each other during a conversation, I think has been immensely helpful. Thanks to the headphones, and we're able to like hear each other specifically within our ears, and so like we're not talking over each other, and we can allow other people to finish their talk before before anyone else can start talking. And there were a few bumps along the road. We lost. We didn't lose, but per se, but we lost 2 of the cast members. They'll no longer be regulars, but they are. They'll definitely they'll be considered as contributors, and always welcome to be on the podcast anytime. Whenever they want to, or whenever we're shooting, we'll always extend an invitation for them to come and join us. So that's about that. We started off this podcast for funsies, and we've been having a great time, especially since we got the new equipment, and it's just been amazing. The sound quality and just, I know I said that already, but yeah, it's just I can't get enough. The sound quality is just amazing that we've been able to achieve with what we put into it, and we decided that we're gonna try and do better. And we actually set a goal for ourselves, because we were down in like the low we're like in the low 30s or so. We're about in the low 30s in subscriber counts. But we decided that, hey, you know what, we're going to start. We're going to set a goal of because last year we were a little bit naive and thinking like we're gonna get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And we started back in like late March, early April, and by the end of the year we only had about 25 or so subscribers. And so we decided, when we decided to get the new equipment, and we got the new equipment, we set a new goal for ourselves, and we said, you know what, before the end of this year, we're gonna get 50 subscribers. We're gonna get 50 subscribers, and lo and behold, just a couple of weeks ago, we gained our 50th subscriber, and we're positively ecstatic, and we've actually just gained a few more uh, just the last few days, and so we are very happy to have met that short-term goal of 50 subscribers. Um, and thank you for all those who have been supporting us, who have been watching us since the beginning, and who have been sharing our content with amongst your friends. I hope you are entertained. I hope they with the main podcast you're entertained, with the main podcast you are entertained and inspired, and I hope with Nocturnal Transmissions, this show, I hope you are challenged, and challenged and entertained, because I still want you to be I still want you to be entertained. I still want you to enjoy watching me talk to a camera for an hour. I know I'm usually doing it with my partner Robert, but uh, I'm really glad I get a chance to do this episode solo tonight, just so I can just kind of get things, just trying to exercise that part of my brain. So I remember the most recent main show, we had our friends Eric and Sarah Nam on, and Eric was sharing about his vlog channel, Nam Fam Bam. Check it out check out their YouTube page. It's actually we actually have it featured as on our channel page. So if you go to the channel page and you see like the featured channels, it's right there. So click it and check it out. It's really good. It's it's short vlogs, and also kind of day-to-day vlogs with his wife and his kids. But anyways, he was sharing how since he started vlogging, it was kind of weird for him, because it was just talking to a camera, and then like after each session he would like delete it, because I don't know, he was unhappy with it or whatever. And I was just pointing. I made the observation or the correlation that it's kind of like when you're little and you play make believe, and you play House or Army or Power Rangers or what have you. And you're kind of having this conversation with yourself. You kind of fill in the voices of the other people. But vlogging or doing this is I think uses the same part of our brains. That we forget how to use as we become adults. But doing vlogs and doing the podcast like this, I think helps our brains, get in tune with that part that we forgot how to use over the years. So right now I'm really, really using that part of my brain right now, because I'm just I'm having a conversation with y'all. Even though you're not here to necessarily reply right away, or give me feedback to which I can then springboard off into other conversations and such. So I'm really appreciative of that, that I'm doing this by myself tonight, just for that bit of exercise for my brain. So yes. The state of our podcast is strong, and I only predict bigger, better things for us in the coming months and years. We've been filming, we've been recording like crazy. There's actually three podcasts in the pipeline right now. I'm working on one. There's two in waiting, and I'm trying to get, and I'm trying to do a relatively quick turnaround. At the absolute ideal, it'll be a week, but more realistically, it'll be 2 weeks. So each episode will be about 2 weeks, and I'm trying to impose a strict hour and a half maximum, because because I'm the only one that edits and does all like the graphic. I do the graphic design work, like the background for this show, and also the thumbnails and things like that. So I'm trying to keep it within an hour and a half maximum. Because one, it takes, because like the last podcast with Eric and Sarah, that was over almost 3 hours long, and that took me quite a long time to get through and edit. Well, I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything really crazy, but I'm just putting it together, and then putting in like reference images and funny GIFs to punch up the jokes. But it still does take time, but also it takes a lot of space on my computer. And even though I have 2 separate external hard drives, I first, when I render the photos, when I render the video, it takes a really long time for anything over an hour and a half. Like, I'm talking like practically the whole day to render a video. And I mean, if you're a video editor, you know what I'm talking about. So it takes a really long time, but also the file is huge, and I don't know. Maybe I have to work on compressing the file, and that way it'll help on disk space. But again, that's all those things, on behind the scenes kind of stuff that I'm kind of dealing with, and I just wanted to share with you guys, because I wanted to be as transparent as possible with y'all. And I wanted to share this. I want to share this with y'all because we're a bunch of old men sitting around talking, griping about the world. And that's not always fun, and maybe that's not always entertaining. But we want to share as much of ourselves with you as possible, and we're not going to share we're not going to share our credit card information or our social security numbers, but we could at least share with you what's been going on with us, behind the scenes, and what the process in which we're upgrading things, and we're trying to create a better product for you guys, and this is really fun for us, or it's really fun to do. I'm enjoying it, even this since I do have a lot of time in between clients and things, and so the podcast has been keeping me busy, but also it's kind of keeping me sane, in between the clients, because boredom is real. It's a real thing, and having this thing to work on, having this thing to constantly make better, has been helpful. I mean, it's also keeping me fresh, because when I was when we decided to chop up this podcast, and then creating like the thumbnails and stuff, it was really kind of boring, and I wasn't inspired. But it was actually James who was telling me, "Hey man, the stuff that you guys are saying is good, but it's kind of like the candy is delicious, but the wrapper sucks. And so he was telling me, he's like, oh, you should really think about redesigning the thumbnails. And so he shared with me some of the thumbnails that he seen, and and I started to look at some thumbnails. And so that's how we came about redesigning the thumbnails for Nocturnal Transmissions, and also for the regular Circulatrix podcast. Because because he was right. I was being a little bit lazy, and there was nothing inviting. There's nothing fun about the thumbnails that I had created before. And so with a little bit of pushing, I came up with the thumbnails that you see now, and then you see like the background for this show. And I think, and we're better for it. I really think we're definitely I do believe we increased the value of this show. So I really hope you guys are enjoying it. I really because I'm having a blast doing all this stuff. Even though some, on this show and also on the main podcast, I complain a lot about being the only person who does the back end post production stuff. I might complain. That's just my way of dealing. I complain a lot about it, but I secretly enjoy it. But that doesn't mean I want that that I want to devote that much time to it. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying our content. I hope you tell your friends about us, and I hope you stick around to see what we do next.